it was going to be at 6. It's actually starting it now. Well, I tried to give people warning.
It says you're live.
It says I'm live, yeah, but I was supposed to be going live for at 6. So now I'm just all by myself.
You can just sit there and be like a statue.
I think we know that's true. Happy holidays. Well, that was so not how I intended that to go down. Yeah, I was kind of thinking when I hit 6 o'clock, I had a couple minutes. Maybe go get another cup of coffee. Well, howdy, Batman. First in. Happy holidays. You know, what's up? Just figured we'd go live for a change. You know, got to do Sunday video. Updates are getting a little stale, so thought it might be nice to kind of chat about future garden plans and
that we work today.
Such. Yeah, that and we worked today. So it was kind of weird. But it wasn't really work because it was hanging out with a couple we really like, helping them on the farm because they've got like a wedding coming up. And of course, it's 2 days from Christmas. And they really just needed somebody to tidy up and shovel some snow. Brian, hey, man. Long time no see. Merry Christmas indeed. Haven't heard from Mr. Brian Ragland in quite some time.
Dude, hello! I'll be there in 1 second.
Yeah, she's over here. Hopefully everybody's prepped for the holidays and doesn't have to try and do any shopping tomorrow, because that would really suck. And yeah, I wouldn't want to do it. I wouldn't want to do it, but I guess there are people that will be doing it. What? Last minute shopping tomorrow.
Oh, I'm not shopping.
No, I'm not shopping tomorrow.
I'm not I'm shopping.
Are you? Online? Or?
I'm going to the store.
Well, yeah, okay, but going to a store here in Strath isn't really the same as like what one envisions as Christmas shopping, you know? It's the horror of the mall on the holidays when you get jerks like me who go to their car with every single package, put it in the trunk, and then walk back into the mall. You've been waiting there for 20 minutes thinking you were about to have a parking spot, but it's not true. I made sure I got the best spot. I'm there at 6 o'clock in the morning just to play this joke all day. Not anymore, but you know, when I was younger, I was quite a jerk. And I'm sure you can guess I did it with style and grace, and I pissed off a lot of people, but it was stylish and graceful. So it is what it is.
It is what it is.
We actually have 4 people who have joined us so far this evening, so that is absolutely lovely.
What's your topic?
What is my topic? Well, technically, my topic is, you know, I don't know, happy holidays and something garden related. In theory. Okay, actually, I do have a kind of sort of topic. Howdy, Punky. Welcome to the chat. Yeah, I do have a kind of sort of topic. The Tomato Grove area that we were growing last year, I'm seriously considering switching over to some variations of the Three Sisters gardening method. I've done a lot of looking at videos on YouTube, and I'm seeing a lot of variations. And
sorry.
Well, not really. I can read the chat because of how I got it set up.
Oh, okay, good.
So you can be here, or you can type there.
But I can't read your chat.
Well, that's your own issue. Anyway, yeah, so I'm thinking about doing some corn and crop areas this year, and lots of little circles and possibly a little row set up. But I'm not fully researched on that yet. I've still got a lot of videos to watch and blogs to read and all that fun stuff before I commit. But I have been hardcore looking at seed sites and such, trying to find things that'll fit into that 90-day window. I found a 67 or 68-day corn variety called espresso corn, which I think is absolutely fantastic. Howdy, Babette. Happy holidays to you as well. So a 67-day corn, I don't know if I can actually believe that, but I'm willing to pay for it to find out if I can believe it or not. Well, thank you very much, Brian. That is very awesome, and happy holidays to you as well. I've also been looking for squash, short season squash. Good Lord. I just want to grow some pumpkins and some spaghetti squash, man, and have some vegetables that I can store for the winter. But trying to find these things that, like, I know from June 1st to September 1st, we're clear. We're good. Okay. But I don't know if I can go that 2 weeks earlier and have things survive. I don't know if I can expect much beyond that. In theory, I've seen it go, well, it was just about the 20th, I think, of October, the first year that we were here. That was our first snow.
Yeah, it was right before my birthday.
Yeah. So that is what I would call the longest garden season that I've seen here yet. Barnyard Chicken, Merry Christmas to you too. So that would still only be 140-day garden season, which really, based on the way me and scheduling works, is cutting it close. So yeah, I'm trying to find things that are as short a season as possible so that I can actually take a calculated, planned approach at gardening next year. And I would like to hit that 100 pounds of food for the winter. And I actually like to blow it out of the water.
Right.
So that would be great. Rev, you made it. That's fantastic. And hey, I will be around if you want to throw me an invite for tomorrow. I mentioned it in the chat, but I don't know if you ever got back to me on that. So happy holidays from Ontario. As Bok. Okay, cool. Well, happy holidays from the Toba. Russ, you made it too. Hey, I am loving this. This is apparently 6 o'clock on a Sunday. It's like you can almost predict that I'll have something up at or around 6 on a Sunday.
Yes, Rev's having a party tomorrow night.
Oh, I am so in. I think we may have some hot chocolate and available for that. Speaking of hot chocolate and, I hope everyone has a lovingly warm and spiked beverage in their hands, and that goes around, but I don't want to hit the camera. You know? Oh, so yeah, technically, that is the topic in the very long-winded, atypical JT way.
Technically,
yeah.
Hello, Yaya.
Yeah, that's Russ.
Russ.
Ah. The only mailman the PLC still loves. It's been rough. Yeah. Anywho, Lisa. Who's Lisa, Rev? I don't know Lisa on this list. I feel bad. Oh, man. Batman, it was in the house.
Yes.
I think everybody wishes Russ was their mailman.
He'd be a cool mailman.
Barnyard Chickens, Lisa. Ah, well then. Hello, Lisa.
Okay.
I will try and remember that, but I'm sketchy with memory at best. So does anybody have reliable short season crops? I guess becomes my question for the community in this. Things that would fit traditionally into a 3 sisters, 4 sisters, 5 sisters. I guess it's companion gardening setup that they tried, tested, true. They know it's a good variety. Kevin, welcome to the chat. Dave Orr, welcome as well. Klaus family, well, we're doing all right. I got to admit, the ladies too. I'm not sure if you can see just how stretched this thing is right now, but
yes,
I'm going to have a band in my forehead when this is done, I'm sure.
It was specially made for ladies. These were handmade for me years
Apparently,
ago.
I don't qualify, okay? You know?
No, you're fine. It's stretchy. It's like super stretchy material. Oh, that would hurt. Super stretchy material. So, like, we're good. It
is very stretchy, and it's somewhat dangly. So,
yeah,
it'd be delightfully annoying on a ski hill, but
that's why I killed the bell in this one. So back to the sisters gardening.
Back to the sisters gardening.
Stay on topic. Stay on topic.
It's like she doesn't even know me. Yeah, with the standard 3 sisters gardening, as I get it so far from video viewing, you're looking at definitely a corn, you're definitely looking at a squash, and you're definitely looking at people go with pole beans, but pole beans are part of the whole legume family, which from everything I'm getting watching all this cropland research stuff on the farm channel, legumes are used to draw available nitrogen from the air, sock it into the ground, and then mycorrhizal fungi spread that around, and everybody has a plant party and grows really well. So does it have to be just beans is part of the question here, or will any legume do? Technically, clover is a legume. Anybody know that? I learned that the other day.
Do you need coffee?
I can need coffee soon. No, I can't. I can't chug it that fast. I don't need coffee yet. Topics on a live stream. It does happen, but I don't stick to them. So.
But it is Sunday.
Got to call the video something, right? So the topic is the title, and take it from there.
I mean, like, I could tell you that today we were at a place that had Shetland ponies and Clydesdales in the same spot.
Right beside each other.
And we saw sheep with colors on their backs. We knew what it was all about.
I pet a pregnant goat today.
See why we need topics?
Drove a John Deere Gator. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
That was fun. Climbed over a massive mountain of at least 4 different types of poop. I shoveled a driveway or a deck it was like a little tiny glacier on there. They hadn't had a chance to get to it since the first snowfall, and it just packed on there. That was fun though, because I'm a weirdo. I actually enjoy that kind of activity, and they're a really nice couple.
Got cuddle rubbed by the biggest. What is Bo?
He is a Great Pyrenees Collie Cross. He's like huge. Half again as tall as Laz is, and the fuzziest MF dog I have ever seen. And we got cuddle violated by this creature. And so of course we come home and Laz is giving us the yeah, you cheated. So there is that.
Yeah. Yeah, so anyway, that's why we have topics.
That is why we have topics, yeah. And that's why I like it when Chalks is around, because she kind of keeps me on the topic.
Like llama.
They didn't have llamas.
I know, but they have lots of other really cool.
But we get to have llamas or alpacas. Which was it? Does it matter?
I think the alpaca is smaller than the llama.
I don't know.
I don't know.
One of them's meat and one of them's sweater.
Yeah.
So maybe we should just have both. Okay. I definitely want sheep over goats, but that's just my own thing there. But this is not Three Sisters gardening. This is Bear Family Farm stuff, and this is why we have topics.
Cora likes the long onion as a perennial.
Oh.
Something fresh to cook in April. The tops taste and smell good.
Have
you looked into those radish pods? The ones that grow specifically for their seed pods?
Yeah, Punky sent me some seeds for those. So I'm looking forward to trying those.
Those were really good.
Yeah, but those, root crops are very rarely mentioned in the whole Three Sisters gardening thing, which is why it becomes companion gardening and Four Sisters gardening and all that stuff. Because I was looking up companion planting, and carrots plant well with a lot of these things, but you never hear of anybody going corn, squash, beans, and carrots. Why not? Howdy Freaky, how come you don't have a wrench? That doesn't work. There we go.
That's too much TV. Oh.
Went out today to buy a 32-inch TV for computer monitor. Whatever works.
It's huge.
Yeah, but he's computing from across his living room. It's all
in
perspective. It's like the size of our TV. Amazon Prime. Oh yeah.
Poor thing. Sorry, Coffee.
Life is so much better with Amazon, unless you work for the post office. Sorry, Russ. See, now that's the thing. One can't even blame Amazon, because ultimately the system is set up so that they are supposed to do things like this in order to succeed according to the rules of the game. Ultimately, these big businesses that are evil corporations are really just playing according to the rules and taking the same benefits anybody else would for having achieved a goal or something along the way. But
how does that involving the Grove?
How does that involving what?
The Grove.
The Grove. It doesn't involve the Grove. This is why we have topics. On that note, I should post it above my camera. Today's topic is, and or get something that when I go off topic will just like smack me at the back of the head.
Pants.
Shock pants. Yes. For those Dilbert fans out there, do you know what shock pants are? Yes. Yes. Everyone should have shock pants.
Girl, look, you should never have a wrench.
What is this about wrenches? Yeah, see, Russ, I'm just gonna walk away, and this is a garden channel, and who wants to talk about plants and stuff? Okay, on that note, so I have these little floppy disk cases. Sorry, Shocks, I'm just taking you out of the view here. I am seriously considering putting some spider plants there. Shocks is like, you're gonna look like a treasure troll with the hair up there. I haven't knocked those over in over a year.
They don't dangle out 10 feet with the little spawn.
Yeah, well, I'll just put those and plant them on. Like I do. So yeah. Spider plant can filter air for up to 200 square feet, but that has absolutely nothing to do with the Grove Garden.
No. What are we planting there? We're planning on planting. What's the style going to be like?
That's what we're talking about. It's Three Sisters.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to talk about. But topics. What do you do? Squirrel. Yeah, actually, they're probably in bed in the roof of my shop.
Man, they had a party on top of the chicken coop.
Yeah, they did. The little squirrel tracks are everywhere.
It
It's
almost
nuts.
looks like they're having dance lessons up there. Man, they're crazy. Literally caught them going in circles in the front part of the shed there, around the circle, literally like upside down, down and around, like
bouncing off the window, going around again. Yeah, they trashed everything, knocked it all off the shelves and everything. It was brutal.
Yep, yep.
And yet I let them live in there and haven't started hunting them yet.
Oh, what is plotting the Grove Garden?
What is plotting the Grove Garden?
The Grove Garden is the section on the other side of the trees, kind of at the front end of the yard, closer to the road, because the tomato grove was there last year.
Yeah, so that's so far it's the name. I'm open to options, but I mean, really, why not?
It's just that section.
That's why I got to cut down all those trees. So they can get some sun, because the tomatoes did all right, but if they had like that whole morning sunshine that they were missing, they would have done fantastic.
So now what we're trying to figure out is how we're going to do the Three Sisters groupings in that area of the yard, because there's kind of already 1 by 1 squares cut. Now are we going to kind of do it over there, and he's just designing that. So literally from the scrapboard, here it is.
Plotting referring to planning and or gardening. The grove referring to the space. Yeah, plotting the grove.
Where are you putting the plot in the grove?
Yeah, yeah. Left margin, you need a wrench. You know what, Kevin? How come you didn't get a wrench? Look at that. Okay, so squirrel. Yeah, indeed. So howdy, left margin. I don't know your actual name, and I apologize for that. So shall I just refer to you as Lefty from now on? What is Three Sisters? Three Sisters is a style of gardening, agriculture based on Native American traditions of planting certain types of plants together, because they noticed that they respond well together and they grow well together. Traditionally, it is done with a corn, a bean, and a squash, because the beans provide the nitrogen for the squash and the corn. The corn sucks up the excess nitrogen, so the land is pretty much just fine, and there's a nice potassium level grooving along for the squash, so everybody fruits. It's a beautiful situation, assuming you have active bacteria in your soil and you have your mycorrhizal fungi, which is a word that's killing me to try and learn how to say. Then yeah, they have the exchange and everything does better because they have the other there, like a support group.
Mm-hmm. Well, right? That's where like the folklore part of it comes in, because you plant the corn a little ahead of time so it has a nice stable stock for supporting the next sister in the group, which then like the beans grow and they are supported by the corn stalk. And so the third sister, the youngest sister, is being supported by the first 2 sisters. So there's a little bit of a folklore tale in there as well, depending on what culture you're talking about. So there's like lots of science, there's old wives' tales, there's folklore around it, and it seems to work well. It's
to be fair, though, I'm most familiar with the old wives' tales portion of the film, so I still need to do my research and all that and give it a go. And apparently Lefty is Deb, so I will try and remember that. I'm not good with names, like I was just saying, but... And did I see Uncle Wimpy join us here too? Yeah. So welcome, Merry Christmas, Uncle Wimpy. Thank you for joining us this evening. So yeah, with the Three Sisters thing, I think we all know that I will at best be Three Sisters-ish gardening. And of course, I will be pushing the envelope and trying things that are going to make people go, you know, that's not going to work. Why are you doing it? And I, of course, will go, I want to do it because I want to know why it doesn't work. But the goal that I had set for last year of I wanted to grow 100 pounds of food becomes kind of ridiculous when you're talking about multiple plantings, each of which involve a variety of squash, because these like pumpkins are not light. Okay, corn, do you count corn by the cob? Do you count corn by the pound? Because you don't really eat the cob, you don't really eat the husk. So do you scrape off the corn and then you weigh it? It's a really tough one there too.
Well, that's an each thing.
Well, kind of. And I never did weigh the carrots as I've been using them from the dungeon, but
we took a crap ton down there though.
We did, and I am still pulling them out of that peat moss. And if you've ever wondered, Graham, Merry Christmas. I am so glad to see that you have joined us. You definitely deserve a wrench. And 2 days left, brother, and then you can take a well-deserved, long, hot soak, spend some time with your family, and think of nothing other than, thank God I'm not driving. I weep for you and everyone in your industry. So, yes. And I hope you weren't affected by something. I thought I heard about a tornado that touched down west of Seattle. And I think you're in the Pacific Northwest area, so I hope everything is all right around you. What we got here? Brian, corn, beans, and squash are called the three sisters, Native Americans, and are planted this trio because they thrive together much like three. Yeah, basically, right? But that's kind of the wives' tale, kind of the folklore portion of the film. And oh, excuse me, that's what I get for trying to chug that and part of the whiskey.
I'm having coffee.
I'm not. Anyway, yeah. So, looking at Three Sisters gardening and looking at plant guilds and companion gardening leads me to believe that I can do a lot more than just 3 different varieties at any given time. So I've currently started researching lists of like plants that do well together and how many of them do well with each other in those subgroups. And then I'm going to try and make little almost like individual garden plots throughout the grove. And where last year we had a tomato, there's going to be like 4 or 5 corn and a couple of beans or peas or just some clover, or I don't even know what my options are for legumes yet. So I'm going to have to play with that. And then the carrots in there and then the squash in there. So we already got 4 crops because I believe root vegetables need to be represented in this garden. And now that I know I can store my carrots, I want to grow more of them so I can store them all winter long. There are some in the bucket, but I don't know how many are there. I don't think we're going to make it till spring.
No, but dude,
I don't want to have this problem next year.
In December.
Fresh-ish carrots
we grew
in
them.
December. Yeah.
They're in dirt.
They've never been to a grocery store.
Or in the freezer or the fridge.
Or can.
They're
although
fresh.
Pickled carrots. I've heard
Oh,
great
that
things.
would be good.
Yeah. So that's a whole different adventure, and that's a whole different channel, right? So, yeah. Next to the Idaho border, all is good. Yeah, well, we've been having a pretty good holiday season so far. So far, I think the most Christmassy thing that I've really enjoyed doing, though, was shoveling somebody's walkway today. So they got a whole bunch of people coming over, and they're just going to have this massive family Christmas that I really appreciate that I don't have to be a part of anymore. But I understand how much people in those families appreciate that. So it's fun to help.
It totally
and it's
is.
like a free gift, right? I'm just giving you a little bit of my time, and look how happy you are. That's awesome. Yeah. So that was pretty awesome in the Christmassy sense of things.
They're so patient with our questions.
Rev Toast, breaking out the summer sausage. I don't think Goham's here, man. So you're good there. Brian, learning older sister's often do.
No, he cleaned off a huge deck today so that everybody that was coming to Christmas would be able to get around. Fill up with dirt.
Deb, already nuts. Just to get to that concept there. Shoveling a walkway, did it fill up with dirt? No, it was a nice, beautiful deck. Uncle Whippy. Trial planting with the aquaponics. Nope. My aquaponic garden is currently dedicated to herbs because
parsley.
I'm really, really enjoying having those fresh herbs available again. Rob, what's up?
Dude,
your Christmas present's not even in the mail, but Straw Lives Matter.
Sorry. They're right here. Straw Lives Matter.
I'm going to make a sign. You think I would have taken the time to print it a little neater.
I can't believe you still have that.
I'm a little surprised, too. I noticed it the other day. I was kicking around in my feet, and I'm like, what the heck is this? Oh, yeah, Straw Lives Matter.
Chickens are awesome, Graham. I love our chickens more than I thought I could ever love chickens. I highly recommend it. Happiness level goes up like 5%.
Yeah, if at all possible, everyone should have chickens.
Oh my God, yes.
And on the upside, Betty White, who is actually the one that's kind of regrown her tail, she still looks white, seems to have started laying eggs again as her kind of Yule present. So we've actually got more than just Bunty's finest eggs every day. What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing at Rev buying a pack of 50 straws for his smoothies.
We'll send you a metal straw too, I guess. we can't have you getting in trouble with certain other Canadian representatives, you know. So yeah.
Oh well, they're New Year's gifts at this point. You'll get it when it happens, and
now there's the honesty of it. They are gifts that will get there someday. Know that they're out there. They're on their way.
You know, realize we still had a couple of last year's Christmas cards to mail out. So they just kind of went in the stack this year with this year.
Pretend it's this year's card. They won't even notice. They'll be like, wow, they remembered to send us a card. Maverick gas station. They sell the metal straws. Nice.
They do make them colder and hotter.
Yeah. If you're drinking like a loose leaf tea, do you want to grab one of those mate straws? Anyway, they have these little straws that have a sieve on the end. And if you're drinking a loose leaf tea, it keeps the leaves out of your mouth.
Somebody went to go make tea, so I'll grab one so you can see.
Yeah, excellent. But they are fabulous, but they do definitely increase the heat of the tea where normally you just kind of pour it down. You notice it. Mate straws. These things are incredible. Good for loose leaf counter teas, sweet teas, whatever you want to do. Definitely good for infusions. Feeling unwell? Have some basil and garlic in hot water. You won't like the flavor, but neither will your cold. This is a wonderful
party
group
going
of individuals
on
in the chat. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm glad to have actually done the live stream thing today. I was all like, we were out and about. And I don't know. I want to make a video.
Still a little grubby.
Yeah, like I'm still all sweatshirted up, and the inner 3 layers of this are all kind of sticky and nasty. But I'm like, you know what? 6 o'clock on Sundays, I try and have a video out. It's the only thing that's really been consistent in 6 years on my channel, so I do try and stick to it. You know.
Oh no, there's still one more Sunday before the end of the year.
And then there's a Monday, and I believe tomorrow and on New Year's Eve, Rev is still doing a live stream.
Oh,
I believe. Freaky, am I planting anything on Christmas Day? Well, I am now. I hadn't really planned on it, but I have a whole empty tray and about 1,000,001 different types of peppers to get planted. So, yeah, probably.
Oh, see, and I still have these lovely seeds that I promised I would. We're supposed to have a competition.
Yeah, because we're growing Charles Peace peepees.
And
the Charles Peter peppers.
I've got my
Charles
container.
Pulks Peter's peppers.
Charles Peace Peter peppers.
God, that's hard to say.
Hard
CPPP on my cup. It looks like it's an old Russian map. Yeah, you got to get those going. I have a couple downstairs, and you said you was going to sprout your own.
Mine'll be beautiful, and yeah, I'm sprouting my own. I'm grabbing this too.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be taken against you.
The competition is on. This is game phase.
Not much of a competition. I'm the only one with sprouts so far. I mean, that's like winning at Rat Race because you're closest to the door. You're still winning by default, though. I'll take it. Ricky saw those mini solar cups today at the Buck store. Get a pack or two. Oh, dude, they are awesome. They are the best way.
Yeah, they're so freaking.
They're tiny. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah. Barbecue is done. Dinner awaits. Oh. Peace, love, and barbecue, man.
Merry Christmas,
Enjoy.
Yaya.
Merry Christmas indeed. Graham,
dinner.
January 1st and 1st aired Sir's Crackers Garden. Sweet. I will be trying to get that. I had to re-click your bell, by the way. Anybody who's subbed to Graham should go make sure that they also haven't had their bell unclicked because I want to catch that. I enjoy watching my friends grow along.
Yeah, I've had a few people that have been unsubscribed from whatever or have been taken away from me. And I'm like, where are these people? Why haven't I seen them? And I'm like, what? I did not unsubscribe you. I am waiting to see things. And yeah. Just YouTube and their stuff.
Hoser-like behavior, eh? Scott, Everyday Canadian. I discovered he was asking me to come over and check out a video, and I'm like, what do you mean I didn't see a video posted? And it completely unsubscribed me from him, so of course I didn't see the video posted. It was a little, I could have sworn like less than 2 months ago I subbed up to Scott.
So yeah. I think when I have a couple of days off, things are going to get revamped a little bit and snoop through. And
New Year's, Yule, it's always a good time to kind of refresh.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I got to figure out what I'm planting on Christmas Day. Definitely going to be a variety of pepper, because we all know starting tomatoes early is a bad move in the dungeon. Although I still have those 3 that accidentally sprouted up, and I've got one of them that I am seriously considering putting where the basil was in the aquaponic garden, because it's still, it's under that light, and it's still this little tiny thing. Doesn't look like it's going to get all insane like the last pepper that was grown, or the last tomato that was grown in there. So I might give it a go, but I'm really enjoying just having the herbs in the garden there.
Well, that's
I want to start
nice.
some
I'm like,
thyme.
Reggie, I need some whatever, oregano, parsley, mint. It's good. It's good.
Interesting idea. And Freaky's got an interesting point here too. If you don't plant actual seeds in dirt or water, you can plant ideas in folks' minds.
That mask up there,
That's
Brian?
what I try and do.
Sorry. Changing subject, answering questions.
Oh yeah, that undoubtedly, that gray mask behind you on the wall. That is Shocks's mask.
That is, I was like 16 and in the mall, and this distributor of goods from Indonesia was there, and that just screamed at me. So I asked my whole family for it for Christmas, and sure enough, it took a bunch of them to put it all together. Ultimately, it was a gift for Christmas one year from my uncle who lived in Vancouver, which was like 4 hours away. And there's no way he'd get to the mall and find out about it, but he was looking for a gift for me. So my mom and my grandma were like, she wants this. And so that year for Christmas, he gave me this beautiful sweater, and in the sweater was that mask all wrapped up. And he's been with me ever since. And that is really the story behind that mask.
And it used to be, we had a really, almost a chapel type ceiling.
Yeah.
A vaulted ceiling, I guess is technically what they'd call it. And he used to be up in that in the old house. It was great.
Oh, yeah. He likes to sit up high and keep an eye on things. It's kind of like the watcher of my house.
Kind of, yeah. He's like our living room witch. I got a little kitchen witch, which isn't actually a kitchen witch at all. It's more of a voodoo mask.
Yeah.
This is the living room one. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Graham, in response, how's the daughter doing? She is a teenager, so it's really hard to say. But she lives with her mom, and last time I chatted with her, she was in pretty standard teenage mental health. So I'd say she's doing teenager, you know. Let's see, Uncle Wimpy, broccoli and spinach currently in the aquaponics greenhouse. Nice. Deb,
it screams often.
Wow, something
watches for a reason, right?
Well, yeah. That way we know what the dog's up to. We used to be able to know what the cat was up to, which is always up to something. Let's see. Graham sounds awfully familiar. 17-year-old is off living with her boyfriend in a cute little apartment. Well, at least they've got an apartment, right? And hopefully you don't want to throttle the boyfriend too regularly. You know, nobody ever likes the boys that their daughters date 100%, I don't think.
I should hope so.
My best friend from high school. He's had this plan since high school. When my daughter starts dating, I tell you, we're going to get together and we're going to do this and this and this and this. And basically, because he lives in Vancouver, Port City, very, very mixed cultures, and just like it's a beautiful dumping ground of the whole globe. He basically wants to get one of his friends from each stereotype, who is the most stereotypical. You know, so I would have gotten the redneck role if I still lived out there.
Yeah.
And we was going to sit around a table and we was going to scare the crap out of whoever was dumb enough to date his daughter. And he had it all worked out. And some of this stuff was terrifying, but, you know, funny. So I was going to totally help my friend out. He's been my friend since high school. How do you say no? But I'm really glad I don't live there now because she's getting at that age. And
oh, that's awesome, Graham.
It is.
It's
really
working out
cool.
really well.
Oh, well, that's excellent.
I was like that with Fuzzy too,
She
right?
goes to school every day, yeah.
Needed to explore on his own, and you know he does well, and he makes sure things are taken care of. So, you know, it's hard, but we did well raising them because they're independent, right?
Fuzzy's a diamond. He does better under pressure. Much better under pressure, actually. But at the same time, he's really relaxed and things are going very, very well.
Yeah.
Research is doing very, very well.
Yeah, yeah.
Old enough to have married kids.
And our grandpuppy is doing well.
Our grandpuppy is apparently doing quite well.
Yeah.
Little Rosie?
Rosie.
Yay, I know my grandpuppy's name. I'm not sure if that's thrilling or sad. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So, typical families. Here we are.
Mm-hmm.
Celebrating with our internet family, which is awesome.
Well, exactly. Right. I think I figured out what I'm going to plant on the 25th.
Oh.
I'm going to find all the red and green peppers that I have and plant those. So probably lots of jalapenos because that's green to red. That makes one of us. Actually, I don't mind them when they're fresh, but I see no point in dehydrating them.
You're buying jalapenos? Yes, dear, I'm buying jalapenos.
We're at our friend's house today. Again, we're at the house today. And they're not really into the pepper scene so much. And talking about, what's amazing is brownies with maple and habanero. And she's looking at me like, oh, that's just way too hot. And I'm like, right. In my world, that's a pretty mild pepper. And they're just kind of, all right, fair enough. Which reminded me then, though, that I was supposed to bring over some of that Reaper candy that I made. Oh, so that's always
one of their sons-in-laws.
Yes, a son-in-law seems to have a thing for hot peppers. So I'm going to be remelting some of the Reaper candies and some of the ghost pepper candies and a couple of the cinnamon candies. And I'm going to make like half skulls. And, it's not exactly a very Christmassy image, but it's appropriate to the candy. And we're just going to pass those out, see how that does. Oh, excuse me. Graham, pleasure catching up with you. Look forward to seeing more New Year. Merry Christmas indeed. Lots of love. That sounds like you're heading out, Graham. If you are, thank you for joining us. It was really great to have a quick chat with you. Japaglinos don't have any heat. No, they don't. They really, really don't. But they stuff nicely and they wrap really well with traditional bacon. But that's about all I can say for jalapenos. They're easy to find at a grocery store. Even a grocery store in a hick town like where we live. They're there. They're jalapenos. But try and find a habanero or Reaper or anything fun. Jason Smith, well, Merry Christmas. And I throw you your wrench there. Thank you for joining us. What do we got here? Shocks the Muse. Who is that?
Yeah, you should block that person.
All right.
Mouthy.
Report, remove, put a user in timeout.
He put me in timeout!
I didn't know I could do that. Anybody know how long that's going to last? Shocks the Muse was timed out by JT Bear for 300 seconds.
You have been placed in timeout by the owner of this video or a moderator.
Eric, howdy, buddy. Yeah, you told me do it. I was going to do it. I wasn't going to do it, but she was all like, sure, bring it. So I'm like, it be brought in. Click. Things you can only do in the digital era.
I'm in the timeout corner now.
5, I think.
How long is 300 seconds?
5 minutes.
Oh.
Yep. Bear is now in timeout from Shocks. No, I don't think I'm in that much trouble.
No.
You can really use a fresh coffee.
You can go off your hat. No, wait, it's fine. I'll get you a coffee.
Know your audience. It's the key to any sales, folks. No matter what you're doing, know your audience. That said, I'm a YouTuber and I have no clue who the vast majority of my audience is, but I know and love a few of you, and you're wonderful people.
I'm not doing anything for your coffee.
No, you're not doing anything to my coffee. Why not? It's like that Zaphod people. Is there anything in this? No? Well, put something in it and bring it back. For the record, Little Miss Timeout, I just took a sip of the and still has not put any in my coffee. Actually, I'm just bearing it all.
What's the topic?
I'm not ratting her out. I'm bearing it all. Do I get a pun penalty for that one? Or?
You do. What's the topic today?
How to annoy your girlfriend in one easy live stream. I guess you're your wife at this point. How to know your wife in one easy live stream. Yeah, like it's only been the one. Actually, I think
something about a grove.
Grove.
Bury your body.
The grove where they bury my body. Oh, the Druids Grove. Okay, so there's. Are you sure we're talking about that one? Okay, good. It's getting very confusing. I used to want to be cremated and sprinkled in a place called Goodfella Creek because it just seemed like a really appropriate place, or I wanted to be crushed and turned into a diamond and dropped in the creek so that maybe if somebody steals the diamond, I can haunt them and have a little fun with them.
If I were turning you into a diamond, I would wear the bling. Thank you.
She wants to keep me as bling. She thinks I'm blingable. Still waiting on that coffee.
How many seconds left?
I have no idea. There's no countdown on my screen. Rob, we're all a bunch of weirdos. Who are you trying to fool, JT? Well, I think the answer's in the question, Rob. I try and fool myself on a regular basis. I actually found a book many, many years ago that was already over 100 years old at the time. That was essentially the rules to happiness in life. I was getting there. Thank you very much, my love. I greatly appreciate you getting me a warm beverage, and there better be some and in there.
Can I have time off now, please?
I don't know how to do that. It's only 5 minutes. How much longer do you have to wait?
I don't know.
Okay. I wasn't paying attention to that. But anyway, yeah. And where I was getting with that story, before I took a moment to show appreciation and thank my lovely wife for this delightful beverage. Not quite enough and.
I drank the other half.
Rule 8 in this book for how to have a good life was to practice self-deception. Howdy, happy. Many happy teenies to you over the holidays. But so rule 8, practice self-deception. And the justification that it gave for this was if you're not having a good day, literally lie to yourself and tell yourself that you are. And whether or not you believe yourself is irrelevant. But if you do this consistently enough, you will find that you have a better life. I thought that was the most ridiculous thing I had ever read. And I had read a lot by that point. So out of that whole book that I read, rule number 8, stuck. So who am I trying to fool? Me, Rob. Trying to fool me.
I don't see so where. Intently. Well, I'm trying to see how. I can't comment.
You still can't comment?
No.
Neat. Does anybody know how I can fix that or extend it? Pop out chant, Google timestamps, participants. It's probably in participants, but I don't want to get rid of anybody by accident. So you can just have, it's 300 seconds. It's not that long. It's like 2 horse races. Maybe 3. Depends on the length of the horse race. She whispered boo into the mug. Yeah, pet a cat is a good rule. Pet a cat is a good rule as long as it's a friendly cat.
Oh, we have new neighbors whose cat is a cuddle whore.
No, that's an old cat. The new neighbor's cat. We have new neighbors whose cat is an awesome, chubby, probably pregnant little mouser. She's like taking at least 2 off of our property, which is killer because the chickens don't really seem to have much interest. But deception could mean fake it till you make it. Well,
face it till you make it.
Not happy with your life, pretend was clearly what it was going at. But it makes sense, okay? Because you can get people. They go, "Oh, my life sucks. This reason, that reason, the other reason," and all they see are these reasons why their life sucks. And you get these people who, my life is fantastic. I woke up today. I have a roof. I have food. The people who can appreciate the little things, celebrate the daily beauty, if you will, do their thing. They lead a better life because they look at life better. So, I mean, that's a kind of a positive spin that could be taken off of that. But, oh, yeah, I hear you. I hate auto-incorrect myself.
Oh, self-deception. Consider self-description.
Yeah. RevToast TV, I want to join in the fun. Well, tell yourself that you have a better greenhouse, and maybe you will, buddy.
Are you on timeout? He can put you on timeout.
Is RevToast on timeout? Let's see. What does that button do?
That was fun.
Report, remove, put user in timeout, hide user, remove moderator. Okay. So on that note, how would I invite you to this? Like, I click there. It doesn't do anything. Our coffee maker. doesn't actually. I know. I realized that as I was doing it. Our coffee maker doesn't actually have a heating element on the bottom of it. It just, after 2 hours or so, it screams, as you just heard, to let us know that that's it. I'm not even pretending to heat your coffee up anymore. Now, that said, our coffee goes into an urn and stays warm for like 12 hours. So it's still pretty drinkable even at the end of the day. But we've often found that one of us will be going to make coffee and get distracted, and then it beeps. And it's like it's almost become this weird little race between us and the coffee maker to get that last cup of coffee before it's like, no, you're done. I'm out. Peace. See ya. But on that note, if you're looking to save a little electricity and you're a coffee consumer, consider getting one of those thermal carafe coffee makers, because the coffee quality is infinitely superior than coffee that is sat there and slowly boiled away all day. And it uses way less power. It brews the coffee and that's it. You're not sitting there with the heat plate going for 2 hours until it auto shuts off, or all day until it burns your shop down. So, yeah, I like the thermal carafe. We need a bigger one.
Yes. We have a 10 cup. We need 12.
Cuddle whores are good. Oh, she's back.
Well, somebody had asked us about what's wrong with being cuddle whores. I said nothing.
Oh, yeah, no.
Jason said it's one of his goals. So that's cool. And then Rev's trying to time me out again, but you can't F with another wrench. So, nah.
Can't time. See, we've all learned something today. It's an educational channel after all. Damn, that's so not what I'm going for.
We do have a coffee tree growing. It has yet to bean for us.
Yeah, we have several coffee trees going. Actually.
We even gave a coffee tree to my friend. It's doing well too, and she's waiting for it to bean.
We got them shortly after we moved here. But I think it'll be several years because they're all really little still. So, yeah.
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 Yeah, ours is inside. Definitely.
Burnt down shop, very bad. Yeah. Brian, ever tried growing your own coffee beans? Yeah. Okay, which is where we're at there. Yeah, indoors. Revtos, Freaky, and Eric. Happy. So, yeah, one of my goals out here in Manitoba, where it is kind of stupid to even consider about being a gardener, but hey, here I am all the same, is to build a greenhouse of such a quality that I could have banana tree, coffee tree, vanilla beans. Oh, you've got that sucker dialed in when you can grow a vanilla bean in Manitoba. I don't like to set the bar for my goals too low, so it's all good. Rev, I'm going to try growing some tobacco and cotton this year. Larry and Spring, nice. I got some shamanic tobacco seeds, and I recall getting rather griefed by people in the comments on that video. I never did get around to planting them, though, so
tobacco
good luck to you with
leaves
that.
Are beautiful, though.
Yeah, but some of those plants can make a cabbage look like short. Yeah.
But we had a friend who had a little pyramid in his backyard, and he grew tobacco in it.
James.
Right. Yeah. And the leaves were really big and beautiful. It was a rather exotic looking plant. It was lovely.
He's the reason I want to try a pyramid greenhouse out here.
Yeah.
So that, and I just really want to see my neighbors drive by really slow. Because we get a lot of people doing the Sunday drive.
Yeah. Nosy.
Brian,
interested
what plant
people.
makes, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure people have to make that.
Yeah.
Plant just makes a fruit, and then it's gasoline and all kinds of stuff that go into making that. I'm not even going there. Yeah.
Gordon Ramsay did something on that was really freaky deaky,
Yeah, but he struggled with it, like his brother. I think he was.
But that's scary as shit.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's awesome that he. How dare you say that kind of fucking language on my show? Well, according to certain movies, you can say the F-bomb once and not have to give yourself an R rating. So hopefully, YouTube will give me that.
Freaky geek, light chocolate, white chocolate, milk chocolate, dark chocolate. What's your favorite? Because chocolate's amazing, but dark chocolate's my favorite.
I think I missed something.
Well, Freaky said they're a chocoholic, and that kind of ties in with all the plants talk about what it comes from. But yeah, it's a Coca-Cola. Yeah. So yeah, it all comes from cocoa plant. Have a Coke, have a smile. 1905. I like those memes where your grandmother used to do 10 times the thing you did. Yeah, well, their Coke had cocaine in it. And it was only 5 cents a bottle.
Demonetized alert. Yeah, probably. I do all right though. I mean, surprising. Like for example, Rev has commented in a few of his chats that just some of the strangest videos get demonetized from him, like pepper tastings and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's crap.
I have less than a page of videos that have been demonetized, and I talk about indoor gardening. I talk about grow lights. I talk about all this stuff. It's in my titles because I'm kind of playing with the algorithm. I want to see what I can get away with. Excuse me. And it hasn't really been that much of an issue. So I think they're just kind of spinning the wheel of cruelty, and somebody gets it. And if they get it, you're going to get stuck on everything, man. Deb has the chocolate bean that makes real chocolate. I also got carob bean to sprout. Very cool.
I love
Rob,
carob
spicy chocolate. Yeah.
Carob chocolate is amazing.
Rev, will she be on the panel?
And I don't know what language you want me to bring, but bring it.
What language?
He said I better bring that language tomorrow night.
Oh, that language. I think he might be referring to the colloquial French.
Maybe.
Things like merde and things like that. You know?
Anyway. I'm also Scottish.
We don't choose who we fall in love with. It's just the way it is.
You like my kilt?
I'm not going to argue that. It fits me pretty well. Actually, no, that's a Christmas tree decoration that I wear as a kilt.
Yeah, it is.
Potty mouth from the penalty box. Well, that's how she ended up in timeout in the first place. But, she's standing there in the corner and I get all these ideas, right?
I spout out the word F like, most people use their manners. But when I say F, you, please, and thank you, it's still nice, isn't it? Right?
Well, you technically used your manners. And I've heard that people who swear more often tend to be more honest.
And intelligent.
Which makes sense because clearly they're not taking the time to censor their thoughts. They're just letting them spill right on out there. And in my case, I rarely even... What'd you do?
Broke my shoe.
Great. She's breaking stuff. Now I'm going to get demonetized. Woman's going, ow, in the background. Oh, it's abuse. It's a domestic situation. So what was the topic? Tomato grow.
Tomato grow.
Don't touch the desk. Shall we just make it an official question for this evening? Shall we call that chunk of the yard the Grove? Will everybody know what the hell I'm talking about in future videos? So this year in the Grove, I'm going to try this, that, or the other thing.
Tobacco plants. That.
You're making me curious.
50 points for that.
Corey, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm interested.
Yeah, 50 ducks in a hot tub has had a freaking bad go of things. They haven't been very nice to them. No,
they really haven't. And really, when you consider
and it goes to like nonprofit.
Yeah, like he's feeding homeless and stuff. Like, that boy's a good Canadian, Pretty sure he's out of Toronto, actually. So
yeah,
it always amazes me a little bit when he's surprised by the geese. Canadian geese. Patents. Well, no, it's just she's getting savage. She's like ripping it apart.
To make it even.
I think you did a lot of cussing. Oh, well, Canadians. We say a lot of things without thinking first, eh? And basically, I blame them Timbits. They go straight to your brain.
Part of the English language.
It's part of the Canadian language, anyway. Mm-hmm. Well, hello, Tim. Welcome to the chat. And let's see here. Saw a gray name, so I'm like, well, ooh, obviously, I haven't seen you before. Click, have a wrench. Brian, ever grow any durian fruit? Why does the durian fruit smell so terrible? I guess it's not good at smelling because it doesn't have a nose. No, I haven't grown any.
Like this with the seeds in the middle, also known as like jackfruit, that we watch like the vegans eat and stuff. On this, okay, I watch.
It's an ancient word for not good at hunting. It's a big, stinky
tropical fruit that's supposed to be like absolutely good to eat, but bad to smell, and very high in nutrients for you.
Why is it all the things that are good for you just are not pleasant, and all the things that are bad for you really, really are?
Commercialism and conditioning.
No, that sounds like a human condition thing, like not a conditioning. It's part of being a human, is we like things that are not necessarily good for us.
Too my fun.
Oh, what do we got here?
What?
Sorry, JT, hit the enter button too much between posts. Oh, did you get temporarily timed out there, Freaky? That does happen. Welcome, Art Fibley. Add mangoes. I've never even had a durian fruit, so I couldn't necessarily add mangoes to it. And the idea of trying to find one here in rural Canada, and when I say rural Canada, I'm talking like 3 hours from anywhere worth stopping.
You can't get
Canada. It's not happening.
Even in Penticton, I couldn't find a place to get durian fruit. It's a I think it's like tropical on another place.
I could have found it in Vancouver in a heartbeat. I would have gone to Fruticana, and if they didn't have it, they would have pointed me in the right direction. Fruticana, if you live in Vancouver and eat vegetables and don't shop at Fruticana, you're wasting your money.
Hey, LCJ Farms, how you doing?
Oh, hello, hello.
You try a lot of different foods on your channel. Where do you get your durian fruit from?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. Liking things that aren't good for us. That's why I liked my last girlfriend. I'm not even going there.
I have a phrase I tell my boys. Maybe I'll tell you tomorrow night. Just remind me.
Bitches be tripping. What's fun is when she says that in front of a new girlfriend, and Kai's like, "See, I told you." Yeah, it is what it is. Bitches be tripping.
Service sweet and creamy all at once. Like diced garlic and caramel poured into whipped cream. Okay.
That sounds dirty. And that's a fruit, is it? And yet, okay, we're talking about the fruit that smells really bad, though. But it has all of these positive tastes.
So you just eat it outside.
But half of taste is smell.
Yeah. Depends on like texture and palate. Like the creaminess is supposed to be in the texture of it, where on the palate it's like this other flavor. That's weird. I'm just going by what I
It sounds too complicated for me. I like simple fruits, you know? If I can spell it, that helps. Let's see here. Never had any freaky, you know, when they're really tripping when they suddenly kiss the pavement. Yeah. I'm not, there are stories I could share on that one too. I'm just not going to. Jason, fleshy-headed mutant, are you friendly?
I don't know.
You got me on that one. LCJ, Asian food store, and it's frozen. Yeah. I do some sketchy stuff for an ethnic grocery store at this point in my life, especially having grown up in a port city.
Yeah.
I love a good samosa. I love even a bad samosa. The fact that you tried, you know, I grew up in an area referred to as Little India. I grew up with a very healthy love of all things curried.
It's so not diverse around here with ethnic food availability that I have people that come to me to buy spices like the curry and the turmeric and everything that you need to kind of put it all together.
She came home from the store one day. She's like, there's this guy. I'm going to sell him some of our green curry. And I'm like, it's all we've got. And he's like, yeah, well. I can't argue with that. You know, it's hard to take a position against.
Come on, he needs good food. We have to help him out.
And it turns out, I later did an install. This is him, right? I later did an install for this guy. He's just a wonderfully lovely character. Like, just a great guy. I totally would have given him to him, too. So
there's, like, amazing Polish food around these areas.
Yeah, and there's a Ukrainian festival. Like, 2 hours like up and through the park. And
sausages and everything. So we're just, like, learning about that cultural foodism.
I have to learn about white food.
It's a different culture food. Homemade pierogies and sausages and panishke and...
Yeah, but when you think about it, I grew up with microwave food in a box, or you go to your friend's house and you eat East Indian or Filipino or Native or Chinese or Korean. I ate very well as a young man. And all of the moms were nurses. Fascinating. Did you hear white food? Yeah. What's that? Is it a thing? Apparently it is a thing, and I'm told it's very bland. So I don't know about that. But
well, we come from a very multiculturally diverse area.
Yeah.
And everybody's house smelled delicious when you're walking by.
Walking to school was shades of torture some mornings because dinner was already being prepared at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning because I was going to cook all day.
Blood oranges are good.
I sketched out my blood oranges. I'm like...
Rev's got his summer sausage out.
Oh, somebody call Goham. Rob, you need to text Goham. Let him know Rev's got the sausage.
Yeah, lots of Ukrainian.
I was watching that. What was it, from Friday's live stream? I don't know what was up with that, but wow. Wow. I think it means that flavors were extremely muted. Well, that happens. Polish. I love Polish food. Well, there you go. Lots of Ukrainian culture up there, isn't there? Well, yeah, kind of ish.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are, see, that's the thing. There are actually a few different cultures up here.
We are diverse.
Ish. But it's not, they're not that different from each other, but they are different enough.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when you're desperate to classify a subspecies of something because you want to have discovered it. You know, as that biologist is going, yeah, but it's removed. It's mine.
But at the same time, like our stores around here, we keep things up until Ukrainian Christmas is over because we do have such a large population, right? So it's out of respect for other cultures. So it's, you know.
Which, to be fair, nobody really
Chinese
gives me a hard time about the fact that my New Year's isn't on New Year's.
Right.
They understand the weirdness of it. Well,
I know.
I can't help it. I should not have a swivel chair. I should have a leaning chair.
No, because then you'll fall over.
Well, somebody's got to do the rev roll. You know, it is what it is. Almost every live stream has summer sausage and super hot powders coming out. Talk. Entertain people.
Entertain people.
Yeah.
Why do you do this? Look at what's happening. That's going to be like, oh, we want you to taste something. Who's tasting what? It's about that time in the show.
Oh, your idea, your solution.
No, it was Rev's idea.
I didn't see that. It must be your idea.
Rev's idea.
Anyway, I'm just getting it out so that it's here and everybody, you know, it's representing, but I'm not eating that.
Beautiful blend from 2018.
This is this year, actually. For as little as I thought I got, you know, not bad. And we've been consuming it. And this is the first time ever I kind of tracked what went into it. There's way more than this, but there are at least these in there. So,
what
interesting. Probably lots of stuff. I went to the kitchen. I got spices. I was a little insane.
Dude, we dressed up as Bob and Doug McKenzie one year, and then we watched the movie.
Dude, that was great. That was the best Halloween party ever. We could literally kick people out of our chairs. We brought a big banner with the Great White North on it.
No, we've never had Master Bowl soup. I've answered questions. Oh, the show or movie is what? Strange Brew.
The movie is Strange Brew, yes.
I've heard her talk about all the different events and stuff. Yes, there's a huge food festival in Winnipeg that goes on for a couple of weeks. It takes up a lot of area. There's different cultural pavilions with different foods, drinks, activities. It's a big freaking deal. It
is worth going to Winnipeg to experience Folklorama.
What's his name? I could do that, but that would make sense. And welcome to my mixed up world. I love horseradish. We're gonna get some.
I'm planning on growing it. Yeah, don't judge me too harshly for that there, Brian. Rob, give it a taste.
No.
What are we talking about?
Hashtag straight shot of powder for JT.
Oh.
I think we're caught up now.
Yeah. No. What is that? Not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent. Not at this juncture. Not gonna do it. It's about as good as I get for that impression, which is really sad.
I love horseradish. It's one of my favorite roots. And yes, I have a Baba looking into finding some for me.
Failing that, I've found some in the Vessi seed catalog, and while it's overpriced, it's a somewhat invasive species, so it's not like I'll run out after I buy it. Perfect. Pick it up.
It pickles well and ferments well.
Yeah. And is there any better way to enjoy cold or roast beef in a sandwich than with a layer of horsey on there? Oh yeah, so good. Maybe a layer of horsey, and then you take the powder and you sprinkle the powder on the horsey. You know, a little mustard up on the other side of the bun. Maybe slip some cheddar in there, aged if possible.
Well, somebody here, their wife makes
slice of red onion
with like a whole jar of horseradish in it. I cut myself on my shoe.
Howdy, Rob with two B's. I see Yankee Aces joined us. Now, how come you don't have a wrench?
After all this talk about going and getting.
I was excited about this. Required. Required by whom?
Horseradish. I have no idea why it's called that.
I'm going to make something up off the top of my head and say that it resembles a horse. No, I shouldn't say that. Maybe it's because when you've got a sore throat, it's really good at clearing things up for you.
Maybe it's because when it grows out, it looks like a horse's tail, but it's strong and peppery like a radish.
You know, I was thinking that general part of the horse, but not the tail. Okay. I love Google, and she is on that system. You know, the Dewey Decimal System and the days of researching things in the library, only to spend another hour or two copying them down into your notebook to hopefully get home and be able to read what you wrote, are so long gone, and I don't miss them. Rev, I heard that horseradish is very picky about where it grows. I was going to give it a shot. And also ginseng. Good luck with the ginseng. It's a long crop, but apparently, you know, it's worth it. I haven't heard anything about horseradish being picky, but it'll get along well with me. I can be a little snobby about where I grow too, so it's all good.
Horses to...
No idea, Brian.
Horse... Okay, so it's...
In German...
Sorry, in German it's called Meerrettich. Sea radish, because it grows by the sea. And many believe the English mispronounced the German word "mir" and began calling it Mira radish. Eventually, it became known as horseradish, and the word "horse," as applied in it, is believed to denote large size and coarseness. So originally, it's a German word that English people mispronounced, and until they effed it up.
Yeah, well, most of the English language comes from mispronouncing like other European languages.
Right.
It's just how it happened.
Ooh.
Let's see here. Freaky, what an image. Yeah, sorry about that. Revtos, hey, it's that building blocks guy. Give him a break, okay? There are a lot of people who play Minecraft, and he's enjoying it. You know, it's like the 8-bit world. It's all good. How do Yankee blocks grown in the ground? Well, one would think a root crop, probably happy to be grown in the ground. Rob's saying hi. Giant corpse flower. Oh, is that what that one was? I've heard that smells nasty and takes forever to bloom, like every 10 years or something like that.
Yeah. There's like 4 different places that have it blooming.
I prefer to grow things I can eat. If I can't tolerate the smell of it, then it's definitely out. And I don't have any corpses in the garden to plant it in, so what do you do? There was that goose that the fox left us, but I dug that up. So
yeah, it's gone.
Let's see, Rob, ginseng grows wild around here. Nice. Well, happy digging. Freakies, thank you. Shocks, Revtos, English people mispronouncing things.
English people mispronouncing
that never
things.
happens. Never happens. I'm going to grow me some aji peppers and, you know, some japaglinhos.
One thing I have heard about ginseng, though, is it robs your soil of nutrients. So
it's a 4-year crop, yeah.
Yeah, you got to keep rotating.
Basically, any crop in a monoculture is going to rob your soil of nutrients, which actually really nicely brings us back to where the topic of today's chat. Well, we're actually supposed to be discussing the Three Sisters gardening method, in which one plants companion plants, usually with corn and squash. So, yes, in theory, that's the topic. What do we got here? Rev, ginseng can get you $500 to $600 a pound for the roots.
Or you can just dry it yourself and use it and share it.
Infinitely more valuable when kept at home. William Beckham, howdy, happy holidays. Have a wrench. Cemetery, I see you've joined us as well. That's awesome. This has been a great group of people. It's a bit tragic that I'm kind of going to be wrapping this up soon, but
we have to make dinner yet.
Yeah, it's actually technically breakfast. Shh. Yeah, coffee's
We didn't
breakfast.
eat dinner last night until 2 in the morning anyway, because I had to work late. So
yeah, so there's that.
Yeah,
yeah.
You know, but we're on track.
Yeah. So in theory, as I was saying, the monoculture is there. The ginseng, especially being 4 years of a single crop, very much does deplete the soil, from what I understand. But there's got to be a way to do that successfully with like intercropping something else, maybe providing something that'll help it work.
No, you haven't missed any flooding talk, Freaky. We occasionally skim it and then get sidetracked again.
Think of it as a rock skipping across a frozen pond. Those skips, that's when we're talking about the garden.
Here, let me just break it down. We're looking into it. We're deciding that we're going to plant different things in each plot. Not quite sure how we're doing it. Now everybody's up to speed.
Pretty much. And, of course, the variation of I will not be sticking to traditional Three Sisters gardening, aside from the fact that there will be corns, beans, and squash in at least one of them. But most of them will have carrots, so there's already fourth, you know. But the point is to try and grow things in a way that they will be abundant, and the soil will be in fine shape for next year's garden, which would be neat. So, yeah. Got hammered last night. Sounds painful. Wasted. Sounds like a painful morning.
It wasn't my potty mouth. It was my smart ass that got me in timeout.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
She called me out in public, man. What am I going to do? I mean, in private, I can whimper and hide in a corner like any other good man. But no, on camera, I'm going to be all like, yes, I'm a man. Time out for you. Yeah.
We all learned something, though, right?
We all learned a few things. Let's see. Brian Reptos, ever watched Dirty Riches? Okay, it's directed at somebody else.
Charles is going live tonight.
Oh, yeah, it's Sunday. Jeez, I need to. I knew there was a reason that I'm like, I can't be doing this for too long. When is Charles going live? Is he live now? Or is he live at 8? Anyone? It's 7 here for reference.
Oh, cemetery. You need some like Gatorade or something. Help that hangover.
Yeah, and something absorbent. Some like really dry toast or 9 p.m. Central. I got lots of time till Charles is going to be on yet. Because, like Charles is in charge and stuff, man. Somebody's got to run those boys. 6. You just threw out a random number there. I'm hoping that's not Charles this time because I was a naughty bear.
I guess everybody's trying to figure out what time. Time is time.
6 Pacific Standard Time is the kids.
We're Central.
We're 8 when they're 6. And that's like, I think Rev is 10 or 9. I don't know. 22. That's 10 o'clock. I know that. 42. Yes, Punky. No matter what the question was, that is the answer.
50 points for you.
As the mice finally decided on how many roads must a man walk down. 42. There you go. Check your subs. He made it last night. Who made it last night? I'm getting confused.
Oh, Central. Okay.
Oh, okay. I don't get notifications for most things in my subscription feed. It's very disappointing. I don't know if any of you have switched over to the YouTube beta that they're switching everything to, but it's poo. There are a couple things that are nice, but for the most part, it's poo. I do not like it. Central Time, and I'm an hour behind Deb. It's 8 here, and I'm Eastern. Okay. Hope notifications didn't always go on time. No, they really don't. And, thinking of what am I stuck on? Oh, my God. Okay, hang on. In my wiggling around, I managed to tie the cable from the camera to the computer around part of my chair and almost ripped it out of the computer. Who knew? Mikey D, welcome to the chat. YouTube beta does suck. Revtos, absolutely agree, but you already knew that. Stuck on repeat? Stuck on repeat? Who? Huh? YouTube beta is something the creators are getting forced to deal with. William, just to answer that, used to be the Creator Studio. Now it's the YouTube Beta Creator Studio that they feel is a more improved, streamlined, functional kind of interface for us to share with you. But in reality, it's poo. They just need to stop changing things.
You're right, Corey.
The whole interwebs is being turned into poo, it seems. Yeah, which is amazing. Because when I was a kid, the internet didn't even exist yet. And yet we've already broken it in that little time.
Right? Give people 20 years.
And that's why we can't have nothing nice. The idea is great, but the troll concept, and not Trollforge because he's awesome, but like the going online just to piss people off, the misinformation thing, it's so wrong. It messes with everything.
What poop is best for fertilizer?
Hey?
Brian's asking what poop is best for fertilizer.
It really all depends on what you're fertilizing and how long you're prepared to let it sit for. But if you're looking for an immediate need, rabbit poop is apparently good to go.
Right.
Drop it out to Bunny, put it in the garden. It's considered a cold or a cool fertilizer, so not too much nitrogen. Pretty much immediately usable by the plants. So that's great. Yeah, bat guano. I've heard things, very good things about bat guano, but I've never really been in a position to go harvest it or try it.
Somebody in town built a bat shelter to try to attract bats into an open field down there, and I've been kind of going by and checking because I wanted to harvest bat guano, but I haven't seen any yet. So don't know really where to get it from.
Not going to pay for poop online, that's for sure.
Nope.
Excuse me, I was wondering if my bag of poop has arrived in the mail yet.
Dog poop needs to go in landscaping compost because it has bacteria in it that's not good for vegetables. You shouldn't eat it.
Well, definitely don't eat it. But if you're going to compost it for your garden, it has to go above 200 degrees, probably Celsius, to make sure it kills those bacteria.
Yeah.
So
we've got like a landscaping compost where we put Laz's poop. And it does break down, and we do use it. We just don't use it on anything that we grow to eat. Like we'll use it on trees and bushes and that sort of thing, or to like fill in gaps or whatever that we need. But
lifting up depressions in the lawn when we're putting in, like, just to kind of amend what she's saying there, I have planted a few things that we will eventually eat with some of this stuff. For example, the hawthorn berries have landscaping compost in them, but that is because I feel it's going to be so many years before we actually get anything edible from that any risk of infection will be well and truly gone, because it will have had time to continue to decompose with, the anaerobic bacteria and the aerobic bacteria and just all that junk going on. But back to the question, chicken poop is apparently a killer fertilizer, and I am really looking forward to using that.
Fish poop.
Fish poop is amazing when you filter it out. I used to love cleaning out the bottom of the swirl filter and pouring that in the bunker garden, and I swear that's why those plants did so well. It was because they got that fish waste.
This year we are allowed to go out to the farm we're working at and pick up some cow and horse poop. So
we'll have all we can shove it
and curing it and doing that sort of thing for various gardens.
Yeah. Hoping to set up some of those trees after I bring them down. I want to put the manure in front of them and give them some time and let them kind of work over semi-hugel mound-ish.
Yeah.
As true as I stick to anybody else's concept, it's an idea. It's a starting point, and the wheels just run wherever they want from there. So
basically what we've done is kind of Google different poop and what it does for the soil, and then determined what we want to use for that specific thing, right? Like, like he said about the dog pooping and the landscaping compost, we're not going to be harvesting off that plant for a couple of years, so we chose to do it that way.
Generally, it kind of looks like herbivore poop is the way to go. Omnivore poop is going to have some more question marks, and carnivore poop, you'd better just let it really hit that temperature before you go to it if you just want some really broad classifications. But otherwise, rabbit is your number one. And that's
Rev, you're cooking chicken.
Well, of course, Rev's cooking chicken.
In a U-Haul.
He's cooking chicken in a U-Haul?
No. Freaky's like, can you put more poop in a U-Haul than the back of pickup? Yeah, but you have to get to pay a deposit and cleaning fees on that one.
Really all depends on what you've done to the back of the pickup truck and the size of the U-Haul. That's a trick question. I've seen some tiny U-Hauls.
Mickey wants to know, Mickey, how long have we owned our farm?
We have been on this property since September 23rd of 2015. So just over 3 years we have been here. And I kind of thought we'd have more done by now.
No, it takes time. We've had some setbacks, and
at the same time, we've actually gotten a lot done.
We've gotten a lot done. It's just things that have come up that we needed to tend to in a different order,
Life's like a game of cards. When all of a sudden you have a wild card, you need to play that sucker now.
Like 3 years, Rev, right? We sit there, we're at the post office, and we're like, holy shit, it's our third Christmas here.
Yeah. Fourth Christmas here, actually, because we're going into our fourth years.
Right.
It's like we did our fourth Halloween. We're coming up on our fourth New Year's, but we've only been here 3 years.
Right.
Haha, fun with numbers. That's right. No wonder people had such a hard time learning to do math. Yeah, the move was long. Hey?
Has it been that long, Brian's saying? Yeah, you know what? Like, literally, it still feels like yesterday, although I feel a lot more settled in our community, like community-minded that way, community sense. Kind of got a little bit off track for a bit there.
Us? Off track? Wait, did you even have a track?
Also saying yes to opportunities that we've had come in front of us here. We could have even planned for that. Like, we couldn't have put that in our perspective and been like, oh, I really want to try this and this and this when we get here. It just kind of like, well, these are opportunities, and it exploded in front of our faces, and that we're saying yes to. So it was a lot of learning, a lot of trying new things. And yeah, it just feels like the time has gone by so quickly. But really, like, the little things that we've been doing, we've done a lot here. Really.
That and the way I go about doing things takes longer than normal people. You take the chicken coop, for example, to answer Mikey's question. Yes, we do have animals. We have a pet dog. I have 20 fish downstairs that provide the power for my aquaponic garden. And we have chickens with 3 names. So that's how many of them we have.
We're going to get rabbits in the spring.
And we're looking to get rabbits in the spring. Yeah, but where normal people would go to a lumber yard, pick up the lumber, and build themselves the chicken coop, I decided to cut down a tree and cut it up and build it out of that. So naturally, that added some time to getting things done. Oh, Deb, you're headed out? Well, thank you for joining us. Got to play taxi to the kids from work. Yes, well, on the upside, if you do it well, when you get older, they'll play taxi for you too. So everything comes full circle. And definitely drive safe out there. Yeah, especially if you're, well, if there's snow on the ground, just play safe. It's that easy.
Hello, David.
David, welcome. I'll give you your ranch here.
Yeah, I don't miss the old job headaches, but I have new job headaches now, so that's a good thing.
Right? It's like a refresh and reset, right?
Nah.
It is what it is. Kind of forgot where I was going with all that. But.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I got distracted. Our topic today is why can't Mr. Bear keep his mind on the topic? And I'll
for the list. We didn't really plan this.
Oh, that's right. We were talking about how come it's taking so long to get things done around here, ultimately. Not really justifying, just kind of realizing. Oh. But yeah, we have gotten a few things done. And I've tried so many different garden projects since we've been here.
Yeah.
That has really been wild. And I've learned so much about indoor gardening.
Yeah.
You know, when you live somewhere with a 10-month gardening season, Rev, you can think the gardening is this really easy thing that everybody should be able to do. And that's kind of where I was at when the channel started, because I was all excited. And it's like, yeah, if I can grow, you can grow. And that is, to much of an extent, basically that is kind of the point of the channel still is, look, man, if I can do this, you can probably do it better. Okay, now just go out there and give it a try. You'll never know until you try. But yeah, so I came here with a 3-month gardening season. Well, like half the plants I want to grow won't even sprout in 3 months. But it turns out that's because I don't know how to sprout seeds. But I'm learning. This has been a particularly good year for that. Although, on that note, with the last batch of peppers that I planted, none of the peppers have come up yet. But I've had 3 sunflowers. Actually, counting the one in the styrofoam cup, I've had 4 sunflowers pop up in totally random places that I did not plant sunflowers. So I'm thinking maybe the mouse is running around trying to stash things. And they're sprouting?
Yeah, you had sprouts out of that fresh peat moss even, so.
Right? Sunflower sprouts, black oil sunflower sprouts, like the ones
those are ours
in the bag that got chewed open and spread all over the floor. A clue. Not necessarily a good one, but a clue all the same. So.
Yep. We generally save up for the next project. We'll decide what needs to be done next, and then work towards that until we can complete that goal. So that's really good advice.
Good luck on getting Sugar Rush peach to ripen in 3 months. I have some from summer that are just ripening now. Yeah, well, Rev, if you recall, I've taken to calling them the I'm in no rush plants. I still have an I'm in no rush cream, and I have an I'm in no rush red. They are somehow still alive down there. The peach, I don't know if I've even got seeds for it anymore, and I'm cool. Don't bother to send any. I'm looking for, as I was saying earlier, I think I'd gotten to this point anyway. I'm looking for uber short season crops because that's what I've got. An uber short season.
Tony's a wrench.
Brendo. Welcome, Brendo. All of these people that I thought already had wrenches. I'm very confused. That's just more of YouTube's questionable behavior. Shenanigans.
Say shenanigans one more
Shenanigans. What's that goofy place with all the shit on the walls?
Yeah.
You mean shenanigans?
5-month season in Regina, Corey has.
What?
Yeah. There's people like we have a competition. We have Fair Day. You guys have seen it somewhere on a vlog somewhere. And these people, like seriously, I sat there and I'm like, how do you have a potato this big? We've been growing for a month. And she comes up, she's like, ha ha ha, I use fertilizer, I have this thing. They build little tents to protect the seedlings. They start them in
little
like
inflatable teepees that go around them.
Yeah, like air teepees or whatever they are, and like all these secrets and stuff. It's just like you actually can grow a vegetable to full term by Fair Day. Now there's people that start in January. They're like, yeah, it's no big deal.
When I was working up at the welding shop, one of the recycling guys came in. He's like, yeah, I start my peppers in January. It works great. Master Blend's not available in Canada, or I would have tried it, Rev. He's like, I'm like, how do you start your peppers in January? He's like, oh, we got a greenhouse, and then I've got one of those propane heaters, and it just blasts away in there. And I'm like, well, you had me a greenhouse. You lost me a heater. I don't even give my chickens a heater. I'm not putting one in the greenhouse. So
any cool tricks to ripen fruit faster?
Well, it depends on whether or not the fruit has already been picked from something, or
leave them on the table.
Yeah, that works. Sometimes putting an almost overly ripe fruit in the center of the nowhere near ripe fruit, there's a little chemical that's released from that, and that can sometimes hasten the ripening of fruit. But with a sugar rush peach, it's just not going to happen. If that's what you're asking about, because yeah, it's just not going to happen.
Is it Mickey or Mikey? Have you done a stream before, like a live stream?
I've done several live streams before. Apparently, it's my fault that Rev does live streams because, I did 3
We're a bad
of them.
influence and everything.
Or a good influence. I mean, look how much joy Rev's brings to people with those. So that's good.
Yeah.
Most live streams every week.
You can pretty much
true story.
YouTube and find somebody in our group live streaming.
Yeah, pretty much every day of the week. And I had totally forgotten that Sunday is 3 guys pepper chat with Charles and Rob and BD Beats. So I want to check that one out.
Yeah.
It's your fault that Batman does live streams. Well, good. Excellent, right?
Yeah, that's good. See, keep the influence going.
And as always, hashtag blame RevToastTV.
Great.
So 37 minutes. All right, I've got some time. If I start my wrap up now, it'll only go about an hour into Charles's show. So you know how it goes there.
And all on YouTube. Oh, where else are people streaming?
Well, I know Yankee Ace is Rob's Twitch channel name.
Oh, okay.
Where he does Minecraft.
Oh, right. Twitch
so that's streaming. Yeah. JT Bear. I have barrels of water in the greenhouse during the day. They collect the heat, and at night they release the heat. Yeah, see, that's brilliant. I like that idea. That's sort of a natural thermodynamic thing. And,
we were watching this man today who also put plastic over his water barrels to help keep the heat in from the barrels a little bit longer.
Old Camp Farm or Ranch. He's one of the channels that I've just recently found on the Bear Family Farms channel. So, yeah, what he's got going on there is pretty cool. But that said, okay, I saw a December video with no snow, so it's really hard as a Manitoban to go, your information is relevant. Well, love the guy, though. Totally awesome character, individual, and he's trained his dog to be ratters, so that's worth mentioning there, too. Freaky, I'm a quack. Well, you're in duck and good company. I'll just leave it at that. William, does the water freeze at all during the winter? I'm a little curious about that myself, and if it does, have you ever dropped like a 25-watt fish tank heater in there? Excuse me. JT, what's the best Christmas present Shocks ever gave you in general?
I don't
the first year she kept me after Christmas, I think, has been the best present ever. And I'm just kind of riding on the tailcoats of that one it's been 13 years.
Something like that.
Yeah. There have been lots of little random things. I could never possibly nail that one down. And if I did, I probably couldn't say it on something being recorded for future generations. Her love, I'm guessing. See, Freaky knows what I'm talking about. Freaky, my water's at about 46. I'm assuming that's Fahrenheit.
What is that Celsius? It's like 15.
46?
Yeah.
Okay, so 46 minus 32.
I don't do math.
46 minus 32 takes us to 14 divided by 2 is roughly 7 degrees.
Oh.
That only works to about freezing, though. After that, the math gets really sketchy. Freaky doesn't get cold enough, only 20 degrees. So that's cool.
Which Charles did you get into live streaming? Hey, all of them?
I'm guessing he got Charles Space P into the live streaming.
And Rob Z and Dave. Yeah, okay. So look at us being peer pressures, right, Rev?
No, I was just the peer. The pressure was the waves.
And the 3 Chili Amigos started out of nowhere too, right?
Well, not really out of nowhere. Howdy, Lacey's Place. Have your holiday wrench.
Oh no, I can't read what it said.
I know. Give it a second. I think what's really interesting about the live streaming is the snowball effect that it's had in the communities.
Nice.
I've noticed it in the homesteading community when I'm floating around on the Bear Family Farms channel, that there's this kind of mutual respect and everybody's got their nights and their slots and their bookings. And it's kind of like I was suggesting we should do on the PLC, but got shut down because nobody owns any particular night or slot. And I'm like, no, nobody owns it. But like out of respect for each other, let's just kind of schedule. And that's kind of what's going on there. There are so many pepper people that are doing the live streams now. I mean, there are art people doing the live streams. And Punky, I don't know if you've considered it or not, but there are a lot of people out there who would watch someone take a canvas and turn it into a piece of art. Just saying. I'd watch that. You know, so there is that. Let's see here with the chat.
He runs on solar. Nice.
Nice. Yeah, I actually want to get the chicken coop on solar, but I think I'm missing a piece. I'm going to be doing a chat about that probably to the camera coming up.
They've got a really cool solar setup on, what did you find, Amazon, that has everything you need, like the solar,
one of my future swag goals.
Yeah,
it's a 1 kilowatt setup. It's got a 400 watt wind turbine and 6 100 watt solar panels, plus it's got the charge controller, I believe, and it may or may not have the inverter. It's like $1,400, which doesn't really bother me because I'm going to try and pay for that with essentially, see all these clicks? That's penny grinding. Those pennies add up. I buy things on Amazon. It's one of those goals. So yeah. Moving on. Definitely I will live stream more art. Perfect, Punky. If you have done some of that already, I missed it, and I'm going to have to check back for that. William, passive heating does work. Yes, I know. I desperately want to put a sunroom on the front of our house because in the wintertime, I'm convinced we could have that window open and get a nice warm breeze in here.
And with enough passive heating, it does become a little more aggressive, right?
Mikey, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from Mikey Dean. Well, thank you very much, and a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and all that stuff for you too. Uncle Wimpy, what you missing? I got a junk box I could paw through if you need something. I'm not sure what I'm missing, which is why I'm going to do a video about it. I just feel like I'm missing something. So maybe we can work that out on the video there. Wimpy, got any spare brain cells that work? Yeah, if you got some of them, I could totally take a donation of brain cells.
Hey, Julian.
You ever see The Man with Two Brains? That was a great movie. Julian, sup, buddy? You see, you're another person I thought you already had, Rich. Uncle Wimpy, nope. Rev, hey, Julian. Hey, Julian. What's up, hey, Rev? Darn, out of luck. Okay, so we're caught up on the chat.
Yeah.
Woohoo. Yeah. So, Julian, I was watching the Friday chat, and yes, I swear by peach schnapps. Rob is absolutely correct. There is very little that can be done once it's become gut rot, but while you're still burning your face off, the sweet of the peach schnapps will totally nullify the heat there. The sugar just, it takes it down and puts it to bed, and she doesn't know.
Yeah, for the record, whiskey does not ease the burn.
No, whiskey and beer, well, often suggested by well-meaning individuals, not necessarily a good idea.
Just because I say it doesn't mean it's true.
Yeah, what she said.
It kind of, depending on the whiskey, makes the burn a little harder.
Yeah, pretty much. Julian, I think it's a gas thing. Yeah. So my solution once it gets to a gut bomb thing is something absorbent, bland and absorbent, just bread. You know, I'd say toast, but we have a bit of a debate here. She burns bread and calls that toast. Apparently I waved mine over the toaster and, you know, she calls that bread. So
raw toast
is gray area.
Do you want your sandwich on raw toast or toast?
I'll have it on bread. Thank you very much. Yeah. What are we at here?
Vodka doesn't help. Vodka's gross.
Mikey, how long have I been married? Oh, that's a trick question.
Oh,
Shocks and
we're not talking about that right now.
Shocks and I have been together for 13 years, give or take some change.
Ding.
Yeah.
Canadian Permaculture Legacy. Check them out, bro. Woo. Is that a new channel?
I am going to have to check that one out. Yeah. I will try to remember that. Yeah.
You kind of ride the wave of heat with pepper tasting. It is part of the addiction. Like, it's a thrill when you get those endorphins going. Your ears are ringing, your eyes are watering, you can't stop salivating, your heart rate's going, you feel the heat all over your body, and then you feel it cool down, and then you have like a little withdrawal sweat going on. Like, it's an addictive experience.
It is. It is.
And you know, it's lovely.
It's like that. You
I think ride it. It's 10 minutes of riding out an experience.
I think that's why most of the truly hot pepperheads do it, is because you do get that rush of all of these hormones and endorphins and stuff going through your system, and you do get addicted to it, and you get immune to a certain level of heat.
You do build up,
and
like anything.
You got to try something more. You got to try something hotter. You got to get that same burn that you got off your first jalapeno, but now you're eating like Scotch bonnets, like they're candy. So you got to move it up to the Reapers, and it's like
that aspect of it, though. In that encapsulation of enjoying the moment, you learn to differentiate the different flavors, the different undertones, the highlights, the spices, the sweetnesses of it. Where other people would just put it in their mouth and be like, "Oh my God, this is so hot, I can't do it." Where you can take that and you can differentiate that whole spectrum of what that hot pepper is providing for you in flavor, right? So the whole thing is just like, it's an addictive circle.
It is. I mean, I wish, to be perfectly honest, as I'm sitting here listening to you explain that, I wish that I could be one of those people who could analyze the pepper and find those subtle flavors.
Good night, Punky.
But, no, Punky, where I sit right now, I am in it for the burn. Even as a younger man, I used to, well, how do you want your wings, son? You want them medium? You want them mild? You want them hot? And I would look at people, I want to sweat just looking at these things. And I really had no idea what I was getting myself into for the long run with that. And I only kind of got started on the hot peppers because I couldn't grow bell peppers. Like, well, these are a small pepper. Maybe they'll grow. It's like I couldn't grow lettuce, so I started growing chard, and then I started growing kale, and I discovered I liked kale, and everybody thinks the best way
to kale, hate lettuce.
Yeah, the romaine scare wasn't that much of a thing for me because we don't really eat that much lettuce. So
is it Mikey D or Mickey D?
Yeah, we still don't know if it's Mikey or Mickey D, but good night.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much for contributing to the chat.
You know what? We need to sign off too because somebody else is starting here.
Charles has got 27 minutes.
Oh,
26 minutes. And I'm sure he will understand. And if he was really that worried about it, he'd be in the chat going, JT, cough, cough, or something. I'd like to think that Charles knows that he could get away with that anyway.
Yeah, I hope so.
I would be totally understanding and open to that. But yeah. I guess you're right, though. We kind of should make some food too. But
I'm hungry.
Yeah. So Rev is going to be live tomorrow. Speaking of other people and scheduling and live streams and stuff.
Come join that shit over there.
Excuse me. Yeah, you should totally jump into that. It'll be fun. Based on some of the last few panels that I've seen on Rev's live streams. It's a hoot.
It's going to be a Christmas Eve special, y'all.
It's going to be definitely something special. Possibly even Little Bus special. We'll see where the evening takes us. So I am hoping to have everything appropriately charged up so that I can join along in that chaos. And yeah.
Should be fun.
Otherwise, I think I'm going to wrap it up and get a nibble into me so I can be clacking away in Charles's chat. So much love to everybody.
Warriors.
Yeah, keyboard warriors, because everybody's tough behind the keyboard, man.
Thank you all for joining us. This has been really fun, even though we weren't really on topic for a Sunday video. But
yeah, well, I didn't show you everything that's going on in the garden, but look, there's an aloe. Merry Christmas, Fritz. I don't know how to pronounce your name, dude. But yeah, Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays. You know what? I could go over the list, but basically I'd like to think y'all know my position on this. Whatever it is that you are celebrating at this time of the year, I hope with all of my heart that it is fantastic to you and you go forth into the next year carrying that happiness until this time comes again.
That's right.
So, yeah, in my case, I'm wishing you guys a joyous Yule. I know many of you are excited to have a Merry Christmas. Several of you have already enjoyed a fantastic Hanukkah. So, yeah, much love, everybody. And mwah!
We'll see
you tomorrow. All right. Take care.
Bye.
And that, all right.